Chris did an absolutely wonderful job with that photo. He really did.
I think it's awesome.
I'm blown away. I saw it. I like went in. And I was like, okay. I told Eris, I was like, you got to look at this picture. Chris did, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's just amazing. Absolutely.
I'd pay $500 for that suit. The whole thing, man. I'd write the check right today if I knew he had it. I'd buy it.
The coat, awesome. The suit, all of it.
Yep. Well, I got the glasses, but the suit, yeah.
Well, I got the scepter. I got Loki's scepter, and I got the Tesseract. I don't have the outfit.
There we go. Cosplay as myself.
I don't think I could pull off the outfit. I highly doubt it. I don't have that waist. I have the waist Tom Hiddleston has.
My waist is not too far off from the one there, but that is cool. Chris, you did awesome.
Yeah, dude, you did it. I'm just blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. Does Adega look like Elon Musk in that picture? I don't know. Do you look like Elon Musk?
I hope not.
Oh, shit. DJ Ronnie G said what Dave said. You look like Elon Musk. Yes. Ray Rose said yes. You look like
I'll need to get you guys a better picture then, because my hair's gray now too.
That looks great though, Chris. You completely blew me away. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I was like, holy crap! 7 Kinds of Mischief coming to you live with the Mad Doctor of Valhalla, Adega Outlaw, and he is the Mad Doctor. Good evening, everybody. We're gonna roll that beautiful bean footage and get tonight going. So here we go.
Right.
Welcome to 7 Kinds of Mischief!
Now we started.
Yeah! I missed that! I've missed that! Welcome back! Welcome back. Big welcome back to 7 Kinds of Mischief, everybody. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today, of course, is the Mad Doctor of Valhalla, Adega Outlaw. Good evening, my friend.
Very mad.
We have missed you.
Hello. Family stuff. Everyone needs to murder their family sometime. I should have started earlier. I wouldn't have to deal with it this past 2 weeks. Anyway, no, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back. I almost was like, he's just not going to want to come back. He's going to be like, no,
of course I'm going to want to come back.
I've been gone for the past couple weeks, and I like it. So, dude, thank you for being here, and thank you everybody out there in the chat. You guys are absolutely excellent. Let's say hello to everybody. Dave Bob was the last one here. Good evening, Dave Bob. Penny. What is up, Penny? Pat S. Bringing the fire. Good evening, Pat S. The lovely Leia Rose is here. Good evening, Leia. DJ Ronnie G is here. Brandon Looney Tunes Span 2000 is here. Good evening, Brandon. We have got, let's see, Andrew 46 and 2. What is up? He says, yeah, Elon, right there. You got it.
I'm going to make you all pay for it. Every single one of you. Can't
Lady
stand it.
Mist, the guardian of the void. Lady Mist is here. Good evening, Lady Mist. How are you doing? We were just talking about you the other day, and someone was like,
Good things, of course.
You voided Lady Mist. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. But yes, I'm the one who threw her in the void and gave her the void. I sent her to the void. God help me. Psychodorp 9 is here. What is up, Psychodorp 9? Good evening, my friend. He says recovering. I'm recovering. Recover. Kick your feet up. Relax a little bit. It sucks, man. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that happened. That really sucks when you bust your ass and they're like, you know what? You're just not a good fit. Don't come back. That sucks.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So, gentlemen, question mark. If you say so, yes, gentlemen.
Questionable. Very questionable.
Yes,
no,
yes.
you know that cold that cold start thing, it actually made me feel pretty good what I did. I don't think you've gone back and listened to that day where I hosted for you on that Friday morning where that's what I did. Before you started making a regular thing. Yeah. You have to go back and check it out.
Yes, indeed. Indeed I am. A couple of those I got to save. And there's going to be a day coming up soon because I've got to do doctors. I'm hoping that somebody is available to do that. I think it's going to be on a Monday. So I don't know. I might have to elbow Adega and be like, you want to come on and film me?
Yeah, I'll probably do it again. Just got to give me advance warning so I can go to sleep early and get up early. But Culture actually said that was one of his favorite episodes. If you listen to it, you'll find out why, because I picked on him quite a bit, even though he wasn't there. Well, the thing is I'm coming from the doctor's aspect, and I explained it there too. When I hear the word culture, most of the time I think of various viruses, bacteria, different medium that you grow them in, and the cultures. You're growing stuff that is infectious and diseased, and you want to kill somebody with it.
Holy crap!
And then casino, and then there's casino, and you have. I immediately go to a roulette wheel, where at the culture casino you spin the roulette wheel, and which disease you're going to land on today. Today you get syphilis. So that's just what his name reminds me of.
I can see you standing in front of the window. Going, let's see what happens when we take away the puppy.
Possibly related to that. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Holy shit.
But anyway,
what do you have for us tonight, my friend?
Oh, I think this is Mischief number 5. You guys could correct me because it's got a bunch of different things in it. Most of you already know I love archaeology, especially weird archaeology, unexplained stuff, the stuff that the modern archaeologists and everything from the Smithsonian to the Egyptologists lie about. So I want to read this short little article, and those of you who may like the ancient alien theorist stuff may kind of get into this. It's tipping the seesaw in a bunch of different directions. But this is about a specific archaeologist, and I'm not going to be able to see the pictures right off front. So we'll have to pay close attention to the pictures as I read it, but I don't want you to get too far ahead in them because I want people to be able to see what's going on before we get to the actual skulls. So here's this article. Like I said, it's pretty short, and then I'm going to give you my theories and a few other things at the end. In a groundbreaking revelation, Mexican archaeologist Victor Camacho, renowned host of the Los Develados show on Discovery TV, if I said that correctly, has uncovered compelling evidence that aliens visited Mexico in ancient times. Through extensive research and exploration of forbidden archaeology, Camacho has shed light on artifacts that not only testify of extraterrestrial contact, but also suggest a profound influence on the cultures of the ancient tribes. This article delves into astonishing discoveries made by Camacho's, highlighting the enigmatic artifacts. And I don't have a copy of the article, but we're going to go over the overview anyway. Venturing across Mexico, Camacho embarked on a quest to study the forbidden archaeology associated with UFOs, extraterrestrial beings. His tireless efforts aimed at unraveling the mysteries surrounding ancient encounters and shed light on their impact on indigenous tribes. You see this picture here. I'm going away from the article for just a second. In the left image, on the upper left, you could see something that looks like a flying saucer. On the right image, straight up towards the top, that is an image that's very indicative of an ancient Mediterranean one of another type of, some say it was a craft. To me, it looks like the sun chasing the moon in the sky, but they have little figurines in the center of them. So ancient aliens tend to think it's.
That kind of looks like the ship in Flight of the Navigator. When it goes elongated, it does.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that think that is alien type representation, where it could be anything from just a sun streaking across or meteor or what have you. So you can take it or leave it. The one on the left, though, could be a hat, could be various different things, but it is up in the air opposite a sun figure. So who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that's one of the artifacts. We'll continue on. Camacho's discoveries have unearthed a remarkable array of artifacts that proved tangible evidence of ancient alien visitation. Among these artifacts are engravings that depict otherworldly spacecraft, offering a glimpse into technology that these visitors possessed. Let's not go that far. Let's go ahead and scoot back a couple of them on the images. That one. These look pretty harmless, except for the one that is in black on the upper left. And that looks kind of unusual. And the other black one, center up, has kind of like an alien head thing to it. Yeah. Things that they don't necessarily show you all the time. And then next to it, you can see there's kind of where the shadow hits, cuts right through it. You can see a nose, an elongated eye, and an elongated skull. Strange things that show up here and there. All right. The artifacts and engravings not only showcase contact with extraterrestrial beings, but also reveal the deep understanding ancient tribes possessed about the universe and explaining unexplained phenomenon. These artifacts challenge conventional notions of ancient civilizations and raise intriguing questions about the origins of their knowledge. Now let's hang on for that one for a little bit. In his encounters with locals, Camacho encountered individuals who stumbled upon a ceramic featuring depictions of strange creatures with large, captivating eyes. These remarkable findings strongly suggest that people of the distant past had direct contact with aliens or entities from parallel worlds. Now, this is where I want you to think about things, because it has been proven in instances where people will duplicate stuff that actually exists or manufacture it. And they get them from people instead of actual documented archaeological digs where you don't have people like the Smithsonian monkeying with it. But he said he got it from people who said they found it. that means they need a lot of scrutiny to go through to find out if these are actually artifacts or they're very clever reproductions or manufactured to make it look one way or another. And that could be what you're looking at here with this white ceramic figure. It could represent any number of different things, or it could be a fake. We're almost done with the article. Victor Camacho's groundbreaking research and the artifacts he has uncovered in Mexico provide compelling evidence that ancient tribes had encounters with extraterrestrial beings. These enigmatic artifacts, with their depictions of spacecraft and alien creatures, challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations and their connections to the cosmos. All right. Now I'm going to play the skeptic. Of course, the one on the left, they always have this little figurine. It looks almost like a Kachina doll, has antennas on it. It could be a representation of anything. That doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't mean that it could be alien in origin. It could be an ant creature. You know, there's various different tribes that have. I got Kachinas behind me that don't even look earthly, but they're representations of different things. Now, the one on the right is another bizarre looking one. It has up at the top, looks like something would be your typical kind of UFO thing, but it could be anything. And then another helmeted creature down on the bottom with something in its hands. Who knows? They could be, and then there's the face on the far right, kind of cut in half with the eye and the mouth and nothing else. So I don't know. It could be anything. Let's go ahead and move on to the next picture. I'll get into some of my hypotheses. This is an interesting find. It looks like it was a necklace. As you see at the top, it had two holes. It probably was strung through, worn around the neck. But there's obvious. This one to me looks fake as heck. But I don't know. That just looks. It looks like someone had put that or carved it into a pre-existing artifact. So you just don't know. Not unless you have some real studies. Now here we go on. This is an actual mummy. Now this is why I brought up all that other stuff. You see the eye sockets. You see the skull. This is a real find. This is out of Peru. The fontanelle, that's that hole on the top of the head, and the crack that goes along the side. Those are suture lines for infants so that the head can go through a no, I'm not going to Congress. So the head can go through a birth canal without the bones being an obstruction. They overlap on each other. When the baby comes out and starts to scream or hoot and holler, those open up with the breath, the blood flow, and then it can solidify into a normal adult position. However, this is not your average skull. The sutures do not match the average human. The orbits, or where the eyes are about almost 50% larger than the average humans, maybe 35% larger. But it does exist. I'll go ahead on to another picture. Here we see a bunch of these big skulls. Now, I have this here for comparison. Most of these are taken from various different places around the world. Some of them have hair on them. But notice the volume of the skull. There is a hypothesis by the standard mainstream archaeologists that say this was the product of head binding. If you look at the bottom left, that skull is a product of head binding. When you're an infant, when those fontanelles are open, you strap the head down and form that. You notice the problem with this. I think this was done in mimicry and a tradition that was carried on for a species of human, not alien, human, that had died off. And they tried to do these head bindings to mimic them. But the head volume, the brain itself, is normal in the bottom left, where the other ones, the cranial vault, is much larger. You cannot bind it to make it look like that and still keep the amount of volume. It would shrink just like the one on the left, if that makes sense. So these creatures with the large eye sockets and the elongated skulls certainly did exist. A lot of these artifacts that we see that people say are depictions of aliens very well could just be these people, an extinct version of human, just like we have. Well, I could tell you all the differences between an Asian skull and an African skull versus a Mediterranean and an Anglo. They're all different in some ways, and some of them dramatic. I think these people were ones that lost some type of war with others over race of intelligence. I have hypothesized with other people about this, depicting where some of these skulls are elongated. It could be either that they were highly intelligent or they had heightened sense of vision and sound where it was superior to everybody else. And then there's also the giants. You guys have heard me talk about giants. Their skulls are also different, where they have 2 rows of teeth above and below instead of just 1 row above and below like the rest of us. And they have various other anomalies. To me, yeah, they would be. And then the final depiction is of something where it's the closest we found in Egypt, where they believe this was one of the royalty. And I'm going to get into some more hypothesis. The pinhead would be more on the left, and you take off the elongated part. A pinhead, they have small foreheads and very little molding on the back. It's tiny. You guys have all seen pinheads before, maybe not by name. But yeah, the last picture is supposed to be, and I don't remember her name, but also Tut and a few others were supposed to have skulls like this. And you see how the eyes are slanted. And depictions could very much make them look alien-like in certain other cases. Now, they do have MRIs and various different things of their skulls, and they don't match in some cases. Other cases, they do. But if they are a superior intelligent race or had superiority to the rest of us, maybe some type of precognition, ESP, various different things that allowed them to be looked down upon, the mass of population was jealous of and eventually wiped them out. There would be those people who still thought highly of them. I want you to think of this. I'm not the first one to hypothesize this, but I kind of see the validity into it. You look at things like the various different hats that started showing up around 3,000, 2,000 years ago. You can look at the Pope's hat, which is a tradition that goes way back. The crowns of royalty in various different nations, where they hide what would be an elongated skull or try and mimic something that was admirable. Maybe they died off from disease. Who knows? My thought is with these archaeological things, there's more than one explanation, and don't immediately go to the ancient alienist. My personal belief is these were people that lived, and for one reason or another, they no longer, and were wiped out either by racism or disease, or maybe they were arrogant and inbred themselves out of existence. Who knows? But I figured I'd share that with you, those various different images, because it's out there. Some of it's fake, some of it's real. But most of those skulls that we showed you, those were actual true artifacts that they don't like to share. They say it's skull binding, but the volume doesn't match. It's impossible. They'll make you try and believe it, but don't. So there you have it. That's what I had. Just some archaeology that I thought was pretty cool.
Thank you, Adega.
Your mic
Thank
is
you for
up. There you
sharing
go.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
I was muted. Yeah, I was letting you go. No, thank you. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Who knew? And it very well could be. Rogan Entertainment's absolutely correct. There were several races of human. Not knowing about one would hardly be a surprise.
Right. Right. And the
Absolutely.
funny thing too is there was something that came out. Sorry about the dog. Came out recently. She's excited. Someone's here, and she can't go down the stairs by herself. She's too small. But they had found what they said was another species of human. But it's interesting to note they go back to the Cro-Mags, all these various different ones, and you look at how many bone fragments they have. None of them make a complete skull. What you're seeing is pretty much what they want you to see, not necessarily what is accurate. So these Cro-Mag foreheads may not look anything like what they have. When you've got 30% of the skull bones, doesn't mean it's accurate at all. So I'm going to turn off my mic. A lot of commotion.
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Adega. That was absolutely awesome. Thank you, brother. Tonight we're gonna go back to the tales of Norse mythology, and we're gonna be talking about Heimdall or Heimdall, however you want to pronounce it, the Watchman of the Gods. In the course of a walk along the seashore, Odin once beheld 9 beautiful giantesses, the wave maidens, Gjalp, Grip, Igia, Augia, Ulfrun, Algothia, Sindur, Atla, and Arnsaksa, sound asleep on the white sand. The god of the sky was so charmed with these beautiful creatures that, as the Eddas relate, he wedded all 9 of them, and they combined at the same moment to bring forth a son who received the name Heimdall. Born was I of mothers 9, son I am of sisters 9. The 9 mothers proceeded to nourish their babe of the strength of the earth, the monsters of the sea, and the heat of the sun, which singular diet proved so strengthening that the new god acquired his full growth in a remarkably short space of time, and hastened to join his father in Asgard. He found the gods proudly contemplating the rainbow bridge Bifrost, which they had just constructed out of fire, air, and water, the 3 materials which can still plainly be seen in its long arch. Where glowed the 3 primary colors, the red represents fire, the blue air, and the green the cool depths of the sea. This bridge connected heaven and earth and ended under the shade of the mighty world tree Yggdrasil, close beside the fountain where Mimir kept guard, and the only drawback to prevent the complete enjoyment of the glorious spectacle was the fear lest the frost giants should make their way over it and gain entrance into Asgard. The gods had been debating the advisability of appointing a trustworthy guardian, and they hailed the new recruit as one well fitted to fulfill the duties of the office. Heimdall gladly undertook the responsibility and henceforth, night and day, kept vigilant watch over the Rainbow Highway into Asgard. To enable their watchmen to detect the approach of any enemy from afar, the assembled gods bestowed upon him senses so keen that he is said to have been able to hear the grass grow on the hillside and the wool on sheep's back, to see 100 miles off as plainly by night as by day. And with all this, he required less sleep than a bird. Heimdall was provided further with a flashing sword and a marvelous trumpet called Gjallarhorn, which the gods bade him blow whenever he saw their enemies approach, declaring that its sound would rouse all creatures in heaven, earth, and Niflheim. Its last dread blast would announce the arrival of the day when the final battle would be fought. To keep this instrument, which was a symbol of the crescent moon, ever at hand, Heimdall either hung it on a branch of Yggdrasil above his head or sank it in the waters of Mimir's well. In the latter, it lay side by side with Odin's eye, which was an emblem of the moon at its full. Heimdall's palace, called Himmelborg, was situated on the highest point of the bridge, and here the gods often visited him to quaff the delicious mead which he sat before them. Heimdall was always depicted in resplendent white armor, and he was therefore called the Bright God. He was also known as Light, Innocence, and Graceful God, all of which names he fully deserved, for he was as good as he was beautiful, and all the gods loved him. Connected on his mother's side with the sea, he was sometimes included with the Vanas. And as the ancient Northmen, especially the Icelanders, to whom the surrounding sea appeared the most important element, fancied that all things had risen out of it, they attributed to him an all-embracing knowledge and imagined him particularly wise. Heimdall was further distinguished by his golden teeth, which flashed when he smiled, and won for him the surname Bagilantani, Golden Tooth. He was also proud possessor of a swift, golden-maned steed called Gulltopp, which bore him to and fro ever the quivering rainbow bridge. This he crossed many times a day, but particularly in the early morning, at which time, as herald of the day, he bore the name of Highlander. His extreme acuteness of hearing caused Heimdall to be disturbed one night by the sound of soft, cat-like footsteps in the direction of Freya's palace. Folkvang. Projecting his eagle gaze through the darkness, Heimdall perceived that the sound was produced by the mischievous Loki, who, having stealthily entered the palace as a fly, had approached Freya's bedside and was trying to steal her shining golden necklace, Bristingamen, the emblem of the fruitfulness of the earth. Heimdall saw that the goddess was resting in her sleep in such a way that no one could possibly unclasp the necklace without awakening her. Loki stood hesitantly by the bedside for a few moments, and then began rapidly to mutter the runes which enabled the gods to change their form at will. As he did this, Heimdall saw him shrivel up until he was changed into the size and form of a flea. When he crept under the bedclothes and bit Freya's side, thus causing her to change her position without being roused from sleep, the clasp was now in view, and Loki cautiously unfastened it, secured and coveted the treasure. The forthwith proceeded to steal away with it. Heimdall immediately started out in pursuit of the midnight thief, and quickly overtaking him, drew his sword from its scabbard with intent to cut off the god of mischief's head. When the god transformed himself into a prickling blue flame, quick as thought though, Heimdall changed himself into a cloud and sent down a deluge of rain to quench the fire. But Loki has promptly altered his form to change to that of a polar bear and opened wide his jaws to swallow the water. Heimdall, nothing daunted, then likewise assumed the form of a bear and attacked fiercely. But the combat threatened to end disastrously for Loki. The latter changed himself into a seal, and Heimdall, imitating him, the last struggle took place, which ended in Loki being forced to give up the necklace, which was duly restored to Freya. In this myth, Loki is an emblem of drought, or of the baleful effects of the too ardent heat of the sun, which comes to rob the earth, Freya, of its most cherished ornament. Heimdall is a personification of the gentle rain and dew, which after struggling for a while with his foe, the drought, eventually conquers him and forces him to relinquish his prize. Heimdall has several other names, among which we find those are Hollinskade and Ermin, for at times he takes Odin's place as is identified with that god, as well as with the other sword gods, Heru, Chiru, and Tyr, the god of war, who are all noted for their shining weapons. He, however, is most generally known as Warder of the Rainbow and God of Heaven, and of the fruitful rains and dews which bring refreshing to earth. Heimdall also shared with Bragi the honor of welcoming heroes to Valhalla. Now, under the name of Rhaegar, was considered the divine sire of the various classes which compose the human race, as appears in the following story. Sacred children, great and small, sons of Heimdall, one and all. Heimdall left his place in Asgard one day to wander upon the earth, as the gods were wont to do. He had not gone far ere he came to a poor hut on the seashore, where he found a great-grandfather and Edda, great-grandmother, a poor but wealthy couple whose hospitality invited him to share their meal of porridge. Heimdall, who gave his name as Rhaegar, gladly accepted this invitation and remained with the couple 3 whole days, teaching them many things. At the end of that time, he left to resume his journey. Sometime after his visit, Edda bore a dark-skinned, thick-set boy whom she called Thrall. Thrall soon showed uncommon physical strength and a great aptitude for all heavy work. When he had grown up, he took a wife, Fear, a heavily built girl with sunburnt hands and flat feet, who, like her husband, labored early and late. Many children were born to this couple, and from them all the serfs and thralls of the Northland were descended. They had children, lived, and were happy. They laid fences, enriched the plowland, tended swine, herded goats, and dug peat. After leaving the poor hut on the barren seacoast, Rhaegar had pushed inland, where ere long he came to cultivated fields and a thrifty farmhouse. Entering this comfortable dwelling, he found Offi, grandfather, and Amma, grandmother, whose hospitality invited him in to sit down with them and share the plain but bountiful fare which was prepared for their meal. Rhaegar accepted the invitation, and he remained 3 days with his host, imparting the while all manner of useful knowledge to them. After his departure from the house, Amma gave birth to a blue-eyed, sturdy boy, who she called Carl. As he grew up, he exhibited great skill in agricultural pursuits, and in due course married a buxom and thrifty wife named Snore, who bore him many children, from whom the race of husbandmen is descended. He did grow and thrive well. He broke oxen, made plows, timbered houses, made barns, made carts, and drove the plow. Leaving the house of his second couple, Rhaegar continued his journey until he came to a hill upon which was perched a stately castle. Here he was received by Fidir, father, and Modir, mother, who delicately nurtured and luxurious clad received him cordially and set before him dainty meats and rich wines. Rhaegar tarried 3 days with this couple, afterwards returning to Himmendburg to resume his post as guardian of the Rainbow Bridge. And ere long, the lady of the castle bore a handsome, slenderly built little son, who she called Jarl. This child early showed a great taste for the hunt and all manner of material exercises, learned to understand runes, and lived to do great deeds of valor, which made his name distinguished and added glory to his race. Having attained manhood, Jarl married Erna, an aristocratic, slender-waisted maiden who ruled his household wisely and bore him many sons, all destined to rule. The youngest of whom, Konar, became the first king of Denmark. This myth well illustrates the marked sense of class among the northern races. Up grew the sons of Jarl. They brake horses, bent shields, smoothed shaft, shook ash spears, but Con, the young, knew runes, everlasting runes, and life runes. That is everything they have on the legendary Heimdall that looked after the Rainbow Bridge and looked after Asgard in Tales of Norse mythology.
And as Dave Bob said, looked after a lot of women.
That's right. Sounds like Heimdall was a little bit of a horn dog. That's right. And that was a common thing was Heimdall came to my bed and we're gonna have a baby. So that was a thing back then. Oh, it must be Heimdall's baby.
Wasn't the neighbors.
Wasn't the neighbors. Wasn't the neighbors. Yeah, wasn't the neighbor. Wasn't Bob over there on Viking Street. It was Heimdall. Heimdall did it.
Dave Bob's excuse as a young man. It's Heimdall with me.
It's Heimdall. Hashtag blame Heimdall. It's Heimdall's fault.
Oh, cool.
It was Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, it's Charlie Chaplin. It's all Charlie Chaplin's fault. It's his fault. He did it. It's the one-armed man.
Didn't see you earlier. Chris didn't see you earlier when we were bragging about your artwork. Maybe you were here, but Loki and I both think this thumbnail thing here was outstanding. You're got talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just blown away. Absolutely blown away. Chris Persia, right there. Thank you, Chris. Seriously. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we spent the first couple of minutes talking about this. Adega loves the outfit.
Side by side with a hero. So
there is a picture of us. There is a picture of us sitting side by side. We do have a picture.
Yes, there is.
So no, absolutely freaking great. What the hell was I doing? I was doing something. What the hell I was doing?
Oh, did I interrupt you and stop you from something?
I was going to load something, but I don't remember what the hell I was going to load.
You haven't eaten recently.
Huh. Charlie Chaplin. What the hell was I doing? Oh, I know what I was going to do. I forgot because, yeah, here we go. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. Oh, next time you're on with Benny and all them, you gotta be like, Loki doesn't do a bad Harrison himself. I didn't kill my wife.
Actually, you do the other one a little bit better. Just slow it down a little bit, just a little bit, and it'll be almost dead on.
Oh, Tommy?
Yeah.
I don't care.
That is close.
Oh, man. God help me. The infamous dinner picture. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hanging out with my good brother, Adega Outlaw.
That was a good time. Gonna have to do it again.
I was a lot balder then.
I'll take you where you can get a really good burnt steak around here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, they do them really good. Even burnt, they're good.
Heck yeah. I love it. Love it. You know what? I got Gordon on my side too, because he was teaching, I forget which episode it was or whatever, but it was when it was doing the Hell on Wheels thing. He was like reteaching them how to do certain meals, and this steak looked black, and he's like, but it's not. Look, and he cut into it, and it was way pinker than I would want it, but the outside had this like black film.
So it's blackened. It was probably heavily seasoned and cooked really fast.
I mean, it looks like it's like burnt to a crisp, but it's not. It's not. And I mean, if they did that a little bit. If they did that a little bit longer for me, get it a little, gray in the middle. Yeah.
All right. I'll remember that. You come visit. I'll show you how good I do the grill.
Oh yeah. You're on. You're absolutely on. No, that's we're doing that. You heard it here first. He said it. Yep. He's going to grill.
Well, it's your choice, grill or smoke.
So we'll grill. Let's grill.
All right.
Let's
Oh, and that was
barbecue.
another thing too. You've often talked about having various different breakfasts. And speaking of Ramsey, he was doing one of his shows in his house. He does this thing where he shows you how to cook certain meals from around the world. And his quote was, "There are no finer breakfasts than you can get in America."
Yeah.
And I have to agree.
Yeah.
French do it kind of good, but man, no, you're not going to get anything as good. I mean, you can get a Mexican breakfast, but it tastes like their lunch and their dinner, just assembled different. We have pancakes.
Pancakes, French toast, waffles. Oh, remember Loki likes it like a briquette. I do not. I don't want a
It's
shoe.
not that bad.
Someone put a damn Nick. Damn it, Nick. Nick put up a thing of a shoe, an old like sole of a shoe. And I was like, that is not, no, it is not that bad. And Adega's like, I can attest to that. And I'm like, no, you cannot. It was not that bad.
Yeah, that's close.
But
there's a way to do it exactly how you like it, and I know how to do it.
Pudgy came in on the trebuchet. Hello, Pudgy. It's good to see you. It is good to see you. Oh, good. Pudgy ended live stream at the right time. Good to see you, Pudgy. It is good to see you. Skip steak, go straight to cooking. We could do that. I can't do that, but you can do that. So,
Cookie. If I have kryptonite, it is cookie.
Oh, dude, me too. Sugar cookies and peanut butter cookies. I'm gonna die. I'm going to diabetic coma right now. A week ago, I tell you what, man, I could only eat half of it. But we went to Cheesecake Factory, and I got a s'mores cheesecake.
I'm not a big fan of cheesecake, but I have had that one, and it is impressive.
So they've got whipped cream. They've got graham cracker. It's got a graham cracker crust plus graham cracker crumbles and toasted melted marshmallow over the top. It's like they take a blowtorch to the marshmallow on top. And
and if that's freshly done, holy moly.
Yeah, it's fresh. And oh man, I could only eat half of it. But man, what a dessert. After a big meal too. I was like, oh.
All right. Before we get out of here and before I make you too hungry, because I know you haven't eaten, you had one choice of one dessert and it's the last one you have in your life. What would it be? Size doesn't matter.
You're going to think this is like, you're going to think it's crazy.
No,
they don't.
Okay,
so they don't do this anymore. They say they do, but it's not the same. I want the 80s hot fudge sundae from McDonald's.
I know the one you're talking about, and yeah, it is different, and yeah, they were really good.
With the thick, gooey fudge that they used to have. Oh, man. I know the ice cream is similar, but it's not the same. It's not the same as it was in the 80s. But yeah, man. Oh, a 1980s McDonald's hot fudge sundae. Give me that.
That fudge was as close to a syrup as you can make into a brownie as possible. It was. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I know you're probably like, Loki's a heathen. He could have asked for anything. He could have asked for the greatest dessert in the world. No, give me that 80s McDonald's hot fudge sundae. Those were so good. My dad would drive us up there just for that.
See, you got memories attached to it. Mine would be creme brulee. I love custard. When I was sick as a kid, my mom, it was the worst thing in the world to give to a sick kid, but she'd make custard for me, and it was awesome. And then one day I decided to order a creme brulee, not knowing that it was amazing custard with the candy top that was toasted on there. And I just, that's mine.
June Wong with $2 super chat says soft triple chocolate cookie with a chocolate fudge center.
Not bad. Not bad. And Pudgy
triple
throws out
chocolate.
the baklava.
Penny throws out triple chocolate cake. Pudgy throws out the baklava, unlimited baklava. The discontinued Budge Brownie, chocolate, Ben and Jerry's ice cream was also good. You know what I had that was really good? It was a God, what is it called? The powdered sugar. It's a cake. It's a fried cake. Damn it. You get them at the fair.
Funnel cake.
Funnel cake. Okay, so it's
elephant ear sometimes called.
It's a funnel cake with powdered sugar, ice cream, and chocolate syrup on top. And they made it at a place called Cakes and Cream in Branson. It's probably why I have diabetes.
6 pounds thinking of it.
It's probably why I have diabetes now. I'm not kidding you. So I could never finish one. I could only get through like half of it before I was like, I'm dying. But good. They had really good hot fudge, and I love hot fudge and vanilla ice cream. If I could do the McDonald's hot fudge and vanilla ice cream over a funnel cake, I'd take that on the way out. It's like, here you can have one meal before you die. What's going to be? Give me the funnel cake and the hot fudge sundae from McDonald's in the 80s. Okay, here you go. And yep, that's how I'm going out.
Yep. All right. Good call.
McDonald's sweet tea is how I got diabetes. Holy shit. I hear that.
That's understandable.
All right, guys, we're getting out of here. Adega, do you have anything coming up or anything you want to share? Anything you want to shoot out to anybody?
The first 4 books, the whole story is now available on Barnes & Noble in hardcover. So if you want Evolution complete, it doesn't have the prologue book, Echoes of Nor, but it's not needed. That's, I know it's Dave G's favorite. And if you want to show it, I don't think Paige would be upset. It's back a couple weeks. The cover for the last, I can't say the last because I'm still fidgeting whether or not I'm going to do the Doorways of Nor public or not. But yeah, that book cover's there. But if you want the whole story, the rest of it is just, what do you call, icing on the cake, or gives it flavor. But the whole story is on Barnes & Noble hardcover. And that is going to be Echoes of Nor. It's almost done.
That is freaking beautiful.
Yeah, she'll probably be upset with me that I showed you ahead of time because she'll probably make changes to it. But if you look at the eye, there's each one of the book covers, except for Children of the Director, because that's an AI thing, has an eye looking at a planet. And some of them are human. One of them is not. This one, you could see the world there. That world will be part of the story. You just kind of have to see it or read it when you get to it. The same with the space. Everything is different. But that will be, like I said, that's kind of like an epilogue of an epilogue. It's not necessary to know the story, but some of the characters, you could see what happens to them and stuff. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me. The books are even though haven't been publicizing them lately, they're still selling. So I appreciate you guys. If you, Loki did a big plug, not the one with teeth. He did a shout out to my. I know. I'm glad you didn't catch that, and I stopped it beforehand. But he did shout out this morning, and I appreciate it very much. As I shouldn't be embarrassed by it, but for some reason I get that way. But I haven't been promoting it, and then he goes and does that this morning. So eventually I'm going to start hitting hard and letting you guys start hearing me patting myself on the back and promoting things all over again. But as for right now, just more busy creating than distributing. So anyway, that's me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. Guys, we're going to be back tomorrow morning with the weekend review, where we're going to do something a little different. We're going to acknowledge the wonderful people that we get to work with each and every day. We'll go through. We'll talk today about whether it's someone in your personal life, whether it's someone on the YouTubes, whether it's someone on Twitter, whatever it is. We're gonna talk about those wonderful people that are in our lives and give a big round of applause and thank you to them. One of them being this man right here that's with us tonight, Adega Outlaw. So thank you,
and
brother. Thank you.
Someone else you need to do too. June Wong, because I think I may have put the picture he gave me. Why he did it? He's such a generous guy. Sometimes, if I owe you, June, you let me know, because I do not want to feel that you ever was slighted by me at all. If I owe you, because I think I gave you a tip because of it, but he gave me a picture of Big, one of the ships, and I may have to put that in one of the books if I haven't already. But he's an underestimated and underappreciated artist in our circle. He does great work. So make sure you have him in there too.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed, we will. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again, Adega Outlaw, for being here. And thank you, June Wong. Brother, this one is just for you. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
We're out of here, guys. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And we'll see you guys on the next 7 Kinds of Mischief with the mad doctor of Valhalla, Adega Outlaw. Take care of everybody.
Not mad, just frustrated. Very frustrated.
Very angry. Angry. Yes, yes.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.